Today I'm making a setup bonnet with split rings and hung hem on both ends.
Okay, so I'll hold down on this and get it started. Okay, so I'll hold down on this and get it started until we're past these loops. Or past the point where the needles are down in the cylinder. And hang these up here. Okay, now this setup bonnet is long enough that I can start off with the buckle on the bonnet. Okay, so I'm going to watch the end of my yarn, make sure I don't go too far, make sure everything's knitting okay. Okay, so we're going to stop with that when we get over here to the beginning of the round. I'll pull that to the interior. And I'm going to go ahead and put a ripcord in here too. So we'll do one round with the fishing line. That'll be the ripcord to make it easy to separate the waste yarn from the project. And now we'll start our project yarn. And we're going to make sure we put our project yarn through the mast. Again, my end was a little ragged, so I just snipped it off so that I can easily get it through the tunnel. Your machine may not have a setup mast exactly like mine, but mine has a little tunnel that the yarn has to go through before it comes down to the machine. So I'm going to do 20 rounds and then hang the hem. Okay. I'll remove the weight while I hang the hem. Okay, so we can see the loop that is supposed to go up on the needle because it is surrounded by the pink fishing line. Get all of those strands. Okay, I think this is harder with this pick. I probably like my silver pick better. Why make something harder than it has to be? We'll continue this all the way around until we get to the part of the cylinder where the needles are down in the cylinder, and then we'll have to crank around a bit before we can hang them in that little section. Probably about 7 or 8 needles. Okay, we can see those needles now, so we'll go ahead and hang the rest of the hem. Lift them up one at a time and put them on the hook. Okay. Time to add our weight back on, and now we start cranking until it is long enough that it is lower than our crank wheel. Okay, I think we're good. So now we are going to take every other stitch and move it from one needle to the adjacent needle. So I'm starting with the first stitch in the round, and I'm going to move it over. Oops. Let's do the rings first. Let's put the rings on every other. We'll do this one at a time, and then we'll flip all of the rings over to the back side. That's what we're going to do. We got to remember to flip them over though. Oh, darn it. There we go. So at the end, we're going to take all of these rings and come back over to the back side like that. Maybe there's a way I can put the ring on the pick pull up my yarn. Well, this was a decent idea in theory, but slip it over and then put it on. I'll try that with the other end of the pick, the crochet hook end. Take this off. Well, I've got the hook on there. Come through the ring and on the needle. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm still going to have to make sure that when I crank around, these are inside the cylinder rather than in the way of the needles. Okay. I've got it. Wonder if I can put a few of these on here at a time and then just release one. Figuring out better ways to do things on the fly, which is usually the best way for me. Up and over, through the ring, and onto this needle. Okay. Off the needle, send the ring down, the ring goes up and over, and then the loop goes on the needle. If I talk through it, maybe it will do what I want it to do. Oops, I lost part of my plies there. Okay, here I got them all. And now I'm going to crank around a little bit. It looks like things are doing what they're supposed to do. And then I'm going to get the rest of my split rings and have to open up my package, and then I'm going to have to go around and find all the ones that I dropped before, because I probably dropped about 10 or 12 at least. But I've got this nice package of 500, so I'm not in any danger of running out. Get few more out here. And load them on. I'm doing this with the weight on, and maybe I should have taken the weight off. That might be a problem this time, but I'm almost to the end, and I'm doing okay, so I'm not going to change it now. After we get all these on, we'll crank about 10 more rounds, and then we'll add waste yarn, and I'll have to manually sew this hem down because we're at the end of our project rather than at the beginning. At the beginning you can hang the hem on the machine, but at the end, if you want a hung hem, you have to do some manual sewing, which that's not a big deal. Take that off, send one ring down, and then we'll put that on the adjacent needle. Almost lost that one. And I don't have all of the plies. Let's see if I can just use my fingers here. Nope. Okay. Saved that one. Oh, I'm clumsy this morning. I'm clumsy all the time. Not just in the morning, but more so early in the morning. Okay, one more. I forgot, I thought I was one off, and I kind of am, but I think it may work out all right anyway. Let's go ahead and we'll go around. Okay, we'll put some waste yarn on. We're going to leave enough yarn that we can sew that hem down. Right through the tunnel, yay! Okay, we're going to take a look at this and see what we think. It may not be quite right. So we will sew this down so that these rings are up here. I actually think we're okay. I know it's not perfect, but I think it's workable. So that is a setup bonnet. It's long enough that I can hook the buckle. It's the buckle, so I can hook that directly to it. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.